We are getting ourselves a very, very late start here today. Yeah, it's after 12 already. Now, fortunately, we do have a rollback. And in that rollback, we talk about this. Now, we talk about other things too. Probably bore you to tears. Maybe I'll put in the bottom of the screen where you can scroll ahead if you want to get through the rollback. However, in all likelihood, the rest of the video is not going to be very long. Today I had actually thought of painting, so I've got to get set up here. I've got to get a lot of our little parts mounted on masking tape because I am going to spray. Yeah, let's roll back, and then I can get myself organized here a little bit. Yeah, we're on step 77 now. Let's roll back. Okay, if I wet my whistle here, maybe I can get through this. Alright, right now it's about 4 minutes after 6 in the evening. And you'll notice that all my cameras are in night vision mode. It's dark outside right now. It got dark around 4:30 already. Yeah, I think the street lights came on around 4:30 this afternoon. Well, the good news is, in about 2 weeks, the days are going to start getting longer again. I think it's December the 21st here in North America. I think it's December the 21st all over in the Northern Hemisphere. Anyway, what I want to show you is when I upload an episode to YouTube, I don't delete the program or the editing out of my computer until the next day. And the reason I do that is because if anything is terribly wrong with the episode, I can always delete it off of YouTube, re-edit it, upload it again. Now, I haven't had to do anything like that. I can't even remember the last time I had to do that. But I hang on to it anyway. So in other words, here is the end of yesterday's episode. We're right at the very end of it here. Okay, so it goes right from the beginning to the end. All right, here's the end. And the reason I'm showing you all this, it will become clear in a minute. So I'm having a problem with my voice as I get older. My voice is changing, and the old voice just ain't what it used to be. So here we go. You'll probably recognize this. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow. Just a very quick update here. I was sitting editing out this closing scene, and I see in my monitor the mailman coming. Okay, I see in the monitor the mailman coming. I guess I should have said the postie, because I'm not sure if it was a gal or a guy. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It was the postie. I see the postie coming in screen number 10, and I'll show it to you after. Now what happens is I'm sitting here editing, and I know I've kind of talked about this before, but I don't think I've ever showed it in detail like this so that you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm sitting here editing, and I see movement in my peripheral vision. Not so much the top, but the bottom. You can see our sunrise camera has been changed into the bird feeder camera, and I haven't changed it down into the carrot pad camera yet. Anyway, yeah, you see the movement. I'm not. In other words, I'm not sitting here all day long just watching this, waiting for something to happen. You just automatically see it. So when the postie came, I saw the postie coming in this screen right here. And I actually got to the door before well, you'll see it, before the postie even got out of sight. I was at the door. So that's what happens. And we got this little package here from Tony. Haven't opened it yet, but I know what's inside. And we'll be taking this to the model table in the front room there in a minute, and we'll open it. And yeah. Tony, if you're watching, thanks. Okay, let's do that. I sort of have the feeling like maybe I should reshoot this. It's kind of awkward and disjointed and so on, but I think mainly what I wanted to show is that when I'm sitting here, and I often refer to what I see in the monitor. Well, I guess I don't want people to think I'm just sitting here all day long just watching my monitor. I just happen to see it. You can't help but see it. And I'm very happy with the way it's set up. And I'm not going to change it. Let's go to the model table and have a look-see. I decided I'm not going to reshoot that scene. It is what it is. Anyway, I didn't explain how I get the video out of my video surveillance recorder. Well, it has a USB out. I plug in a USB thumb drive into it, and I copy it out and I save it as an MP4 file. Now, my video editing program, which I use every day, it readily reads MP4, and I'm able to manipulate everything around just as though it was came out of the camera. And yeah, I just thought I'd throw that in here while we're watching the postie. Getting more information than you need, right? And there's a little bit left. All right. Here's what we've got. I'll recompose here. I have never seen anything exactly like this before. This is a waxed pencil. How many times in the last going on 3 years has somebody said to me, Ron, why don't you get a waxed pencil for picking up really, really small stuff? We'll recompose here, and I got to figure out how to use this thing. Like, is this the waxed end here? Or is there supposed to be something come out here? I'll figure it out. Okay, I was kind of acting like I didn't know how to use it here. And, well, to me, this end down here was obviously the waxed end. But what was throwing me was the fact that it had this special, which turns out to be a positioning tool. And when I put the macro lens on, you'll see sort of how that works. And then what was all this stuff in here? Well, it turns out it's just sort of like to make it look fancy. Yeah, they have nothing to do with the wax pencil itself. All right, now we've got some really, really small stuff here. You remember these things? These were our antennas. Okay. Also, I remembered seeing a little, I haven't tried this yet. This is going to be the first time I've actually picked up a piece of photo etch with it. So the idea is you're supposed to be able to just lightly touch it. Okay, and then you would place it on whatever. Okay, it's painted on the one side and bare on the other. Now, I imagine if a person had a little bit of glue on Mr. T's... Oh, there we go. It let go. All right. Yeah. Let's put the macro lens on, and I'll show you this other end here and what I believe that is for. And I probably won't be using it for what it is meant for. Well, you never know. Okay, before we try to do anything here, you can see that there's this tube with the open end. Okay, so that I believe is to position gemstones around on your fingernails or wherever you want to position them. Now, this is CA thin. We're just going to put a little bit right on the corner there. Now, before that cures, I haven't actually moved this piece of photo etch since we actually put it there. So, oh my. Okay, no. Okay, it's adhered, and it's not adhered exactly straight. Let's try something else here. Let's put another little bit of CA right there. Now, would it be possible to grab this on one end and stand it perpendicular in that little tiny pool of CA? No. Well, it is picking it up. Okay, I can see where this would work if I had have drilled a little tiny micro hole. Okay. You know, you can actually use it to pick something up and then reposition. You sort of pick it up, and then to get rid of it, you touch it on the glue and then rotate the wax pencil, and it sort of comes off. Now, eventually, this is going to cure on there. I don't think the CA will cure on the wax. At least I don't think it will. Those of you who have used this before, will the CA glue cure on the wax? And are you supposed to sharpen these things periodically? I don't know. In the comments below, please. Anybody that's used these a lot? I think our CA is pretty much cured here. Okay, as long as I had to do a battery change there because the battery gave out on me, may as well reposition. So anyway, what I was starting to say was that this CA glue has hardened. But anyway, you can see here how this works. Pick it up with the pencil and then just sort of see there, sort of twist it off. Works good. Yeah, works good. Anyway, yeah, am I supposed to sharpen this periodically? I don't think so. And what about cleaning it if it gets contaminated with something? Like, obviously I've got a little bit of CA glue on there, at least I think I have. You can see it better than I can. Now, a little while ago, when we were back at the computer, wasn't that the most despicable display of beating something to death that you never wanted to see? Yeah, let's try not to do that again. See you in the morning. Isn't this the place where I usually say, well, it's morning? Problem is, it isn't. 12:49. I still got to get more of this stuff. Maybe enough left there for maybe one more thinning. Now, every time I put this thing onto the table, I think of the comment that the viewer made when he said, why don't you make yourself a cart? So you just have to wheel it over to the table and slide it on. Yeah, that's right. I gotta be really careful here I don't twist my back. I think we're good to go here. I never did weigh this thing, but it's heavy. We'll get there. We may not do any painting today, but we'll just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and we'll eventually get there. We human beings are kind of funny. At least this human being is. When I was sitting at the computer this morning, I would occasionally glance at the thermometer to see what the temperature was outside. Now, I know that yesterday we took the transmitter off of the back fence, and it's in the house here, and I'm going to get an inside reading. Now, I know that, but if I'm not thinking about what I'm doing, I'll look at the thermometer to see what the temperature is outside. Yeah, you'd think I would know better. Okay. Now, yesterday I got a comment from one of the viewers, and he was talking about something to the effect of, you won't be going outside in your slippers in this weather. Now, that's not exactly what he said, but that was the gist of it. But you know, it was kind of funny when I was outside yesterday in the backyard and I was looking around, I was thinking, you know, if I step in all the right places, I don't need to put my winter boots on. Okay, so this morning I checked the thermometer on the model table to see, all right, how cold is it today? Well, it's warmed up a lot. It's only about -3 or not even. Yeah, it does that here in Winnipeg. It can really fluctuate, you might say violently. I don't mind when it violently warms up in the winter, except that sometimes that will also bring a storm. Anyway, I guess that'll yet to be seen. Now, I did go out in my slippers this morning, and I did put the sensor back on the fence with my slippers on. Now, I guess it could have been worse. I could have been doing it in my bare feet. Now, you know, that's probably next year. And when I start doing that, well, that's time to pack it in, right? If you've been watching this short segment, you'll realize that there are very few places that are not covered by the surveillance system. Yeah, well, there's the odd place up against the house, but I'm not going to tell you where they are, because then I know you'll go and hide there. Okay, we are definitely not going to be painting today. I was starting to set up with my upturned masking tape and sticking parts down, and I was realizing that, you know, there's not a whole lot that has to be painted. We did have a lot of parts, but a lot of them were already painted, like the railing and so on. But we're on step 78 here, and okay, I realize you couldn't see that. Okay, yeah, we're on step 78, the very last page, in other words. And if you remember, we were talking about, we've got to make up 2 more of these. And I was thinking, yeah, and then I've got to set up and paint again. It only makes sense that I go ahead and make up these other 2 ladders. I think they're just like this, only they're not as long. And I believe that these are the parts right here for it. They're a little bit shorter. But when I was looking at this fret, I was seeing some little hooks here, and I'm wondering if I've missed something. I'll reposition. I'll show you here. There's 4 of them. Okay, it's these ones right here, number 37. And it's sort of like a little hook on the end, and I'm wondering, were they supposed to possibly be for to hold the ladders up that would come down from a davit, or is it something else that I've missed in an earlier step? And I'm just wondering, anybody else who maybe has already done this, you'll remember what those were for, and if you will comment and let me know, because I can't find them in the manual. It could be the Trumpeter missed them, but it's more likely that I missed them. Anyway, I'm going to just leave them on the fret actually, but I am going to go ahead and get these ladder parts and make up that other ladder and solder it up. And because I'm going to be doing it, much the same as let me just move this down here. Much the same as I did the other ones. I'm not going to do it on camera. I'm just going to quickly get them soldered up and get them done. Yeah, we're so close to the end here. Once the railing is done and the rigging is done, I can't think of anything else to do except dust. Okay, these ones here, number 40, they also should be painted. I believe they're supposed to represent like a Jacob's ladder that would be hanging down from the stern of the ship. There's 4 of them altogether. There's also number 37s somewhere. I don't know where, but we'll find them. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit stupid right now again. When I was saying 37, I don't know where they are, but we'll find them. And then I thought, why does that sound so familiar? And then I realized that 37s, well, that was those little hooks that we were just looking at that I asked for the help about. Well, forget about that now. You can see here that 37 somehow goes on these Jacob's ladders, or maybe they're not Jacob's ladders. They could be some other kind of ladder. But okay, that's where the 37s go, and we only need apparently 3 of them. Only need 3 of the 4. So I'll probably make up all 4 and pick the best 3. And then they go on a part that we've got in one of the test tubes right here. And the ensign flag staff, it's also in a test tube, I believe. Okay, thinking out loud again. Well, folks, I realize we're having another very disjointed episode here. But you know what? We are slowly getting there. There's the light at the end of the tunnel is getting brighter. And I'm just going to go ahead and hopefully later on this afternoon or this evening, maybe I'll get these parts nipped off. And once again, I said we'd probably paint today, and then we didn't. Thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.